Damo, can I just say I was proper worried when that alert came up off that app then.
I know you did seem proper worried.
I was like, hang on a minute, I'm going to have to phone in work and go, I can't do the breakfast show.
I was a bit worried for you, I tell you. Your face went proper scared, bless you.
I checked the app and it says my area where I live is gone to the next level, but it hasn't. The app still says medium.
Do you know what, Daz? It's been a while since I've even gone to the next level, to be honest.
Oh, don't be like that.
Is he having a poo?
Probably, yeah. So he could be some time, actually.
Yeah.
I think he still takes the paper with him to have a read.
Come on, we all take the paper, don't we? Let's be honest.
No, I take the phone.
I find, because I've got 3 kids, that is the only place that sometimes you can just be...
I don't like that.
Sweet, what is that?
I don't like that.
I don't like whatever that is. I do not. Oh, no.
No.
I don't like that at all.
No.
I don't like this.
Did you miss me? Oh, are we all right?
I didn't like that.
Did I miss anything?
There was like a bit of a creepy demon type thing.
A bit of a what?
Yeah.
A bit of a creepy demon. It was just like creepy eyes and demon-y type things. And
all right, okay. No, I needed to go to the toilet, so I just thought I'd disappear and go to the toilet.
You were right, Damien, but I don't know what that was then.
I tell you, my pants are heavy.
Heavy?
They're a bit full.
I've heard of a puppy's nose, but I have a Dalmatian in my pants.
Right, let's record.
Now, twice a week, aren't you the lucky ones? You're watching, downloading, and listening to the As Yet Unnamed Podcast. It's Friday, the weekend is almost here. So sit back and join Ian, Damien and Darren for the ultimate Top 5 Lists show. It's the As Yet Unnamed Podcast Top 5.
Shut up, Darren. You absolute idiot. Start that again.
You can tell this is live, so I don't know why you're messing with that. There's nothing there, man.
I know, tell me about it. Look, if I do that, look how little hair there is up there now.
I'd shave it.
I'm going to nickname you Tufty from now on.
True, if I shave it, there's going to be 2 potato heads in the show, and it's not really going to look right, is it? Anyway, right, let's try that again. I'll go from the talk over.
It's Friday, the weekend is almost here. So sit back and join Ian, Damien and Darren for the ultimate Top 5 Lists show. It's the As Yet Unnamed Podcast Top 5.
Hello, welcome to the As Yet Unnamed Podcast Ultimate Top 5. It's Friday, the weekend is almost here. Thank heavens, it's time to have some time off work, if you work Monday to Friday, that is. I'm going to introduce you to Darren. Hello, Darren.
Hello, Captain. How you doing? You all right?
I'm good, thank you. And Damien, hello.
Hello. Friday. It's been a long week, isn't it?
It has been a very long week, and this is episode number 2 of our new twice weekly podcast series. And this is the ultimate top 5 from the As Yet Unnamed podcast. So, let me explain what's going to happen. We are going to give you a top 5 each week, and it's going to be on a different subject. We've had lots so far. We've had 80s films, we've had action films, we've had sci-fi films, all this sort of stuff. But because this is the day before Halloween, when we release this, we're going to do our top 5 ultimate horror characters from TV and film. So, we are going to give you our list of top 5s. So we're each going to read them out in no particular order, with no comment or anything like that. We're just going to give you the names, and this is who's going to be in the bundle and in the bucket to pick out. And then we're going to randomly pick a person to pick each place in the top 5. It will all become clear as we go along, I promise you. Let's start then with our top 5 list. So these are all of the names that are going to be in the top 5 to be the ultimate horror characters from TV and film. So, I will start in no particular order. My top 5 are Hannibal Lecter, Negan, Freddy Krueger, Annie Wilkes, and Dracula. Damien, your top 5, please.
You've only known me about probably about 20 years, and you call me Damon. No worries, Igor. So we have got Pinhead, Candyman, Freddy, the doll, Saw on the bike, the doll that was in Saw on the bike, the creepy woman in the ring who came out the well.
Darren, your top 5 picks, please.
Thank you. And again, in no particular order, we have Mr. Voorhees, we have Brenda Bates, we also have a clown. Yeah, and we also have a strange bat thing as well. Plus.
You only meant to give the names, Darren. Just the names.
Yes.
I don't need an explanation. Just the names.
Yes, and Scott Howard.
Thank you very much. So, it is time to do our ultimate top 5.
It's Friday. The weekend is almost here. So sit back and join Ian, Damien, and Darren for the ultimate top 5 lists show. It's the As Yet Unnamed Podcast Top 5.
So our top 5 this week is ultimate horror characters from TV and film. So let's decide who is going to be picking number 5. I am going to spin the wheel. You both all right there?
Was that the Commodore 64 crashing then, was it?
Are you not? You're not happy with that noise?
Leave it in, it's funny. It's just like a Commodore 64, it's still going round, but everything else has stopped.
I'm so sorry. That is the cutest thing I've ever heard. He's so not impressed. Do you know what? I spend from midday to midnight doing this, and all I get from you is shenanigans. Please play again.
Oh,
Please play again.
The big build-up.
Do you know what you both can do? Do you know what you can both do?
Don't be like
Off. That's what you can both do.
there's no need. Can you play it? Can you spin the wheel again?
No, because it takes bloody for ages. Because I couldn't
Anyway.
find one. Right. Anyway, it is me who is picking the number 5. I'll just spin the wheel. I won't bother with the sound effect, whatever. You stupid people. At number 5 in the ultimate top 5 is from me. So I get this pick. My number 5 is Annie Wilkes. Now, do either of you know who Annie Wilkes is?
I think, and I'm going to have a guess at this. So tomorrow's Halloween, don't you know? Grr-arg! Reference to Buffy. Grr-arg! No. I think Annie Wilkes was from... It was that film when they broke her legs. Misery.
Yes, you are correct. So, from 1990, played by Kathy Bates, and brilliantly portrayed and sort of parodied by Dawn French in one of their sketches that they did in Dawn French and Saunders. She won an Oscar for the role, and she does play the mild-mannered. But
Did she win an Oscar?
She did win an Oscar. Mild-mannered,
Wow.
but absolutely crazy woman who a writer that she is stalking crashes, and she takes him in and said because he's injured. But there is the most famous bit is when he is kept captive, tied to a bed, and she walks in with a hammer because he tries to escape. And it is every time you watch it, you know exactly what's coming, you know exactly what's going to happen. But it's that when she lifts the hammer up and she literally breaks his ankles with the hammer, it is just like, oh, no.
It's not a true story, is it?
No, it's definitely not a true story.
It is visually as well. It is such ahead of its time film. And she is. It's the way she kind of creeps in and you know she's coming in. It's everything you want in... It doesn't necessarily need to be a scary face, I don't think, with a horror
definitely
film.
not. Definitely not.
And with that, it's psychological. And I think Ian has got a great point. She is fantastic in it. And if you get a chance to watch it, you feel the pain that he's going through. And without revealing it, well, I'm probably going to actually. Does he get out in the end? I can't remember.
I'm sure he does.
Escape?
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does in the end. I'm sure he gets out. Someone will probably tell us that we're completely wrong on that because it's been a long time since I run it. But I always remember that bit when she literally just smashes his legs to pieces with a hammer. It's
so
just
good.
vile,
But she
horrible.
is one scary woman. And do you know what? I think rightfully so, she deserves a top in the top 5.
So she was our number 5.
Do you agree with that, Darren?
Absolutely. Great
Because
film.
I think
that is.
during
Love it.
this item, we either agree or we don't agree. So it's either a yay or a nay. Are we okay with that, Ian?
It's a
Yeah, that's
yay.
fine.
So
I'm
I
with that.
think for that one is a yay from me. Darren?
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Good. Okay. And definitely well deserved. It's a yay from us on the top 5 for Annie Bates.
Excellent. I am not going to play you the sound. I'm going to
Go
spin
on.
the wheel.
Come
No,
on. We've got
no.
new listeners.
Yeah, go
Spin
on.
the wheel. Spin the wheel.
The wheel is spinning. It just takes a long time for it to get up to speed.
Stop being prissy. Come on. Play the jingle.
One snake.
Do you know the reason I picked that? Because it is so difficult to find a sound effect. I wanted one that sounds like the Wheel of Fortune wheel. You can't find them. It's really difficult.
You didn't ask me. I've got that anyway.
Well, why didn't you flipping say then?
All right, come
Idiot.
on. I wouldn't now, that for me, because I know I get the bill for this because Barbara does the finances for this show, and that blew the budget. Number 4 then, Ian, on the TV
So,
and film
number
scariest.
4 on our ultimate top 5 horror characters is from Darren. Now, Darren, just to remind you, you need to pick your number 4 pick, not a random one. Your number
I
4.
understand. His second name, is Mr. Voorhees. There's been a number of people that have played this character. And do you know who Mr. Voorhees is?
No,
Yeah,
I'm not getting that.
I do. He is Freddy. Not Freddy. Sorry, he's Jason, isn't he?
He is.
Friday the 13th.
He is, yeah. And the thing is, he's never died in all of those films. And at the end of the film, you think, oh, must have gone already. Must have. Wow.
The very first
Never.
time I saw that, and it was on VHS, and it was amongst my other VHSs when I was a teenager.
Friday the 13th doubled, yeah.
So
Friday
always
30D,
remember-
that's what it should have been.
stop it. Babe Station, it was all muffled.
Babe Station wasn't around when you were a teenager, mate. You're not that young.
No, it was a 15-minute preview,
Yeah,
and then it went dark on the screen.
I want to take a clip of every time you've mentioned the 15-minute preview in this podcast.
So, I always remember watching Friday the 13th for the first time, and Darren, you'll know this as well. For people who haven't seen it, it's kind of a great film. There's a big battle and everything like that, and then at the very end, it's back on the river again. This is the very original, and they're going off in a boat. See you later. Off you go. Comfortable. I'm in a boat now. Thank God he's dead. Everything's fine. What happens, Darren?
He doesn't die, though, does he?
Doesn't die. Comes out the river,
Yeah.
grabs the person under the water, music, scared, popcorn gone, person behind you screaming. That was a film. And for me, sir, your number 4 choice, it's a yay from me.
Fantastic. The thing is, what you need to do is binge watch all of the films in order, even including the very, 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 very new one when Jamie Lee Curtis came back and did the same character.
I liked the new one.
Right.
I'm not. The first one's very good, and then they do go downhill. Some of the later ones are terrible. Because
they did a crossover, didn't they,
yeah,
with Jason and Freddy as well?
That's
right?
just it's atrocious.
That wasn't great, was it?
But the latest one with her in is really, really good. I thought it was a really good remake and almost ending of the franchise. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but yeah, it's good. I like that. When was that out, Darren?
What, the new one?
No, the original.
70. It was, wasn't it 70s? 70,
I think it was 77, 78. So, Ian, is it a yay or a nay for number 4?
It's a nay to you. It is a yay from me.
Yay! So
It's a good
far,
choice.
we've got a blinking good top 4.
It's Friday. The weekend is almost here. So sit back and join Ian, Damien, and Darren for the ultimate top 5 lists show. It's the As Yet Unnamed Podcast Top 5.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm liking it. Right, I'm going to spin the wheel. I'm not doing the sound effect.
Go on, do
No,
the sound.
No,
It's part of the show, do the
no, I'm
sound.
not doing it.
You'll do it, and you'll do as you're told.
I'm not playing the sound.
Got to get Barbara on the case.
Sorry, I pressed the button then. Sorry.
That was perfectly on time as well. Right, at number 3 in our ultimate top 5 of horror characters is Damien's pick.
Okay, so
This is all very even so far.
if you think of horror films, when do you normally watch a horror film?
Late at night, I think.
Yeah,
do?
at
You watch it late at
yeah.
night.
Not,
And
when,
what
not
do
when
you-
you watch in the morning. You don't watch a horror film in the morning,
No,
do
no, no.
you?
So what do you do when you watch the horror film after that? Where do you go after that?
Bed.
You go to bed, yeah. And what do you do when you? It depends who you are. What?
Track wind.
If you've not listened to Monday Show, that will make no sense to you whatsoever.
Black Beauty. So anyway, moving swiftly on. You go to bed and you go to sleep. And my number 3 is the personification of something that gets into your head. Because not only is it a great film, but the flipping bloke enters your dreams. And he kills you in your dreams. And it's a bit... 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, he's knocking at your door. 5, 6, get your crucifix. 8, 9, never sleep. It's not that one, is it? I ruined that, didn't I? What's 8 and 9? That's embarrassing.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 2, 3, better lock your door. 5, 6, get a crucifix. 7, 8, better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again.
All right, you ruined it.
Do you want
Why-
to do? Do you want to do it again?
No, do you know what you
No,
are?
Damien, please do it again because I've. Please do it again. Do it just as you did, but get it right this time. Go on.
2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, he's knocking at your door. 5, 6, get your crucifix. 7, 8, better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. You know what I mean? There's me, and you turn it into a blipping animal farm. What's the matter with you?
I'd watch that version. Oh, yeah.
So there you go. For me, our number 3, I think there was 8 movies or 9 movies. I'm going to get corrected on that.
I think there's 9.
the original was probably the best, but I also like A New Nightmare, where it's actually got Robert Englund as Robert Englund. The other one, the remake, was terrible. He looked like a teddy bear. But for me, one of the scariest characters is Frederick or Freddy Krueger.
I was hoping you were going to say the history behind it and how he became Freddy Krueger.
I can tell you off the top of my head. I can tell you what it is
because I haven't seen all of them and I don't know the history, but I know of them.
So he was a killer. He was a paedophile, and he preyed on children. And the town caught him, took him to a industrial unit, and threw him in a furnace. Hence the reason why he's all burned. And then his spirit comes back to get revenge on him being killed. I think, if I've got that correctly, I believe that's the story.
So it's a spirit. It's his spirit.
He is a proper, he's a proper demon.
I mean, would you say he was a demon?
Yes, he was a demon.
That does remind me of something because, Darren, what the hell is that behind you?
What?
Just down the. Oh yeah, just behind the plant.
I don't like that at all.
Don't do that,
Darren. Seriously, that is not nice.
Yeah, no, I can see it as well.
That is creepy.
do that.
Creepy. Seriously.
Don't do that to me because I get really jumpy.
It is just coming down the stairs now, Darren.
Darren, seriously, what is that behind you?
It's just behind the AYUT.
Oh, Darren.
Tie up. It's behind the tie up, Darren.
Darren, look behind you, man. But
He actually looked as well.
He had a little peek.
Idiot.
He thought there was a little demon, didn't he? Bless him.
There
you go.
Spider or something.
Not below you.
Idiot.
So, ladies and gentlemen, is Freddy at number 3 a yay or a nay? Darren?
I'm going to go yay because I really want to watch them. So, and I do know they're very good. So I'm going to say yay, although I've never seen them.
What? I'm saying yay, definitely yay.
I tell you what, 3 out of 3, boys, and we're all agreeing so far. I do think, though, because some of the last choices are rubbish. So let's see if it is, because the number 1 has to be the best. So let's see.
Spinning the wheel of fate. It's got to warm up a little bit. Sorry.
It's a bit awkward, wasn't it, to be honest? Must have been the demon.
Just got to wait for the right time for it to do, and it's about now.
If it lands on me for the number 1, you're all in trouble.
It's me! Yay! This is all very even and fair at the moment. So my number 2, and my number 2 has already been picked actually, so I'm going to change slightly.
Sounds like you had a number 2 earlier.
I did.
You've gone for ages.
Did something
happen?
Nutter
turned up.
I say, did something happen?
No, absolute nutter.
So my number 2 is. No, I can't do the impression of it. I'm really bad at it. So played by Anthony Hopkins. In an Oscar-winning role.
Again.
No,
do what you just did.
Go on,
then.
Darren.
It sounded like...
Darren, you do it for me. I'll pretend I'm doing it. Right, you ready? 3, 2, 1.
You're just whispering.
Do you know what
He's doing
not.
ASMR.
It sounds like he's standing at the door going...
What was it? I can't. What's the noise? Damien, do you know it?
You breathe through your teeth.
You're not calling your cat in, are you?
Is that it? This is a really scary one, isn't it? So my number 2.
You got to be careful. You might turn into your.
You're all idiots, honestly, all idiots. So my number 2 is played by Anthony Hopkins, Oscar-winning role again in Hannibal, with Jodie Foster as Clarice. It is Hannibal Lecter, because I think as a creepy film that isn't technically a horror, because it is not. It's more of a crime thriller, but it's still a horror character. I think it's one of the best. When you first see Hannibal Lecter in the cell and she walks through and she's told to keep a distance, she walks past all these other psychopathic people, and then she sees him in this glass-fronted, old bricked cell, and he just walks up towards her. It's just like, oh, that's creepy beyond creepy.
The thing is, though, is the... Sorry, Darren.
Sorry.
Come on.
No, you go on. You go first.
The more that movie goes on, didn't they imply that there was a bit of a romantic link between them later on?
An infatuation, I think, might
Yeah,
be a good
yeah.
way of saying it, rather than a romantic. I think it's more of that Stockholm syndrome type thing where you fall for the person that's after you or something like that.
And I can imagine that if Darren and I were locked in a maroon desert or something like that, just me and Darren on a desert, I do think at some point Darren and I would be together.
Mm-hmm. So my wife would say that the books are better than the films.
I've heard that. I've heard the. I'm going to say the book. All right. I nearly said the book then. Nearly said the book. Apparently, Silence of the Lambs, the book, and I agree with your wife, it's meant to be much scarier and very graphic as well, dare I say. Very graphic.
I think she's got them all. I think. Yeah, she's nodding. Yeah.
I will. Anthony, who was watching us live on Facebook Live, if you want to do that, you can do Wednesday nights from 8 p.m. It's just pointed out there's actually Silence of the Lambs, not Hannibal. So yes, apologies. It's Hannibal Lecter. I'm technically correct because I'm saying the character is Hannibal Lecter. Darren, a yay or a nay?
For Hannibal the Cannibal, yes.
Damien?
No, mine's a nay.
Ooh.
Why?
Why a no?
I don't think, in terms of, for me, I could agree with the latter stage of Mrs. Bates, whatever her name was from that film, Misery. But I think to have a thriller type person at number 2, I've never watched that and been, really fearsome and really scared. For me, that's a nay from me. I don't think at number 2 in a top 5 of all time of scariest TV characters, would it have been in the top 5 for me? No.
Ooh.
Controversial.
It's a nay from me.
It's Friday. The weekend is almost here. So sit back and join Ian, Damien, and Darren for the ultimate top 5 lists show. It's the As Yet Unnamed Podcast Top 5.
So far, our ultimate top 5 horror characters from TV and film are as follows. At number 5, Annie Wilkes from Misery, 1990. At number 4, Jason from Friday the 13th films. At number 3, Freddy Krueger, who I thought may have been higher. And at number 2 is Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. So we are now going to get down to who is going to decide who is going to pick the ultimate horror character from TV and film. So, here we go. Let's spin the wheel without the sound. Do you want the sound?
Yeah, I love
Please,
the sound.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
please,
Okay,
yeah.
whatever. Let's just get rid of that then. Right, let's play the sound. Damien. It's quite appropriate because, obviously Damien is a satanic name. So, Damien, what is your number 1, please?
That was quite a hell-raising response.
Oh,
So if you imagine,
I know.
okay, there has been 3 films, there's been a spin-off, and apparently there's been some sort of dodgy TV series. He hails from hell, and for some reason, he has pins in his head. My number 1 is Pinhead.
I remember watching that film. When was it out, Damien?
I'm just going to give you some research on Pinhead, actually, because I do think he deserves a bit more info. So he's created by Clive Barker. He's a fictional character, and he's the main bad guy in the Hellraiser franchise, first appearing as an unnamed figure in the novella The Hellbound Heart. You ever heard of that one?
No.
No? Okay, so he first was portrayed by Doug Bradley in 1987. A new actor came in 2011 with Stephen Collins. And then most recently, it was Paul Taylor in 2018. He's been known as different names. He's been called the Hell Priest, Lead Cenobite, the Pope of Hell, the Engineer, and the Cold Man. And he's actually the leader of the Cenobites. Can you remember what Cenobites are?
Are they a collection of evil gods or something like that
They
from
are.
hell?
You've got one that's
something
just like a
that?
mouth with
Yes.
teeth. So he first appeared in 1987, and it was kind of a real difference from the normal 1980s horror characters because they really kind of went a bit freaky, a bit bizarre, and a bit S&M. So he was. I mean, the makeup was fantastic for its day.
So yes, I remember watching the film when I was younger, and I wasn't very good with scary films when I was younger. The Thing scared me crazily, and I think if I remember rightly, Hellraiser had pretty much the same effect. I didn't do very good with gory films when I was younger, and I remember being frightened by Pinhead. I didn't like the character at all. I'm not sure why.
I'm guessing he killed people. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you watched
Yeah,
any of these?
never seen
Darren?
them. Never seen these. Never seen them.
Surprise. But yeah, I think it's a good horror character.
To give you a bit more info on that as well,
Yeah, go
because
on.
he applied that makeup so many times, he actually appeared in 8 films. And later on as the movie series, 8 films. As it kind of went on, he wasn't just starring as Pinhead. He actually became the assistant makeup artist on the films because he applied that makeup so many times. It's a really, like I said, the thing for me, it was just a complete contrast to what the other films were. There has been another Pinhead redesign recently, which hasn't been as good. It's just not the same. It's almost like when they remade Thundercats. I mean, that wasn't a Thundercat, was it? To be honest,
I never saw the remake of Thundercats actually.
So for me, I would go and say that Pinhead is number 1.
Okay.
So, gentlemen, is it a yay? Now, bearing in mind, this is for the top ever scariest film or TV character. Darren.
I'm going to say no because I can't comment, can I? Because I've not seen it. So am I going to watch it? Am I going to watch it and go, what is this? Or am I going to watch it and go, you know?
I am also going to say no for number 1. I'm sorry, Damien.
Ooh, and you know what I think we need to do? We need to keep a tally of our number 1s to see where they come. And ultimately, we'll have an ultimate top 5 down the line. So keep a note of that number 1, Ian.
I wouldn't put that. I could if it was a top 10, then it would perhaps be in my top 10, but it wouldn't be my number 1. So it's a no,
there you go.
I'm afraid.
Those are our top 5, and I've got to say, I bloody enjoyed that.
Yeah, we've got, and we can't go back and we can't give honourable mentions and we can't tell you what our number 1 would be because it is the ultimate top 5 on the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
It's the ultimate.
That's really disappointing number 1. Right, there you go. That's interesting. Right, Damien. It is time in this episode where your acting prowess is you and Barbara and the little stories. I think last week she had some sort of infection, which seems to be a reoccurring occurrence.
I think it was an infection of tissue, wasn't it?
Or something. Yeah, it was.
Unfortunately,
it wasn't very nice.
She had cystitis last week when we got speaking after the show. So yeah, it was an interesting one. Barbara is our producer. She actually lives in the shed at the bottom of my garden because ultimately it's sad. It's a sad story, really. She got sacked from her job on BBC Radio, and she's been living in my garden ever since.
So can we please have next week's top 5 from Barbara?
How you doing? Okay, yeah. All right. How many? So how did it go in? Right. But why did they go there? Have you always liked it there? Some people do. I'm just saying, it's not the norm, is it? It's tight. I mean, it is. Right. The Vaseline. Right. I mean, right. No, I mean, go for it. Go for it. Doof. Okay, thank you for that. Right. Okay, let me open the envelope. You all right?
Fine, thank you.
Top 5 for next week is...
I'll put some drums in after.
You decide.
What?
You decide. It's down to the listeners.
Risky.
Yeah.
Next week is out of our hands. It is just a blank piece of paper on this. And it is literally, you decide. We are opening it up to our listeners, to the people who are watching. And it's down to you. You decide. Next week on the Ultimate Top 5.
So yeah, if you want to decide what our top 5 is for next week, all you have to do is email asyetUnnamedPodcast@gmail.com. asyetUnnamedPodcast@gmail.com. We will close the lines for this on Saturday. So you've only got a day or so if you're listening to the podcast. So if you're after that, you've got a chance to send us the top 5 anyway. If we use your top 5 next week, we will send you an As Yet Unnamed Podcast badge, which hopefully they'll be here by then. They are on order at the moment. So email asyetUnnamedPodcast@gmail.com with your suggestion for next week's top 5. Good luck, everybody. And that's it for this week's episode of the As Yet Unnamed Podcast Ultimate Top 5. Thank you so much for listening. Did you agree with our top 5? I've got a feeling it will be controversial. Email asyetUnnamedPodcast@gmail.com, and you can also use that address to decide what next week's top 5 is. Also, head over to the website, the asyetUnnamedPodcast.uk, and you'll be able to find our top 5s on there. Damien, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a great end to the week, this has. Really enjoying doing this new series on a Friday. It's been great, and it's a controversial top 5. Some of it was yay, some of it was nays. What will be next? I say it every week, but it's all a bit weird out there at the moment. We want to get out of it. Wear your mask, social distance, keep your common sense, stay safe, be kind, remember what you're putting on social media, and be nice to everyone.
Darren, thank you for your... Well, yeah, thank you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, both of you. Thank you for listening. And all the people on my watch party that have been there as well. Like Damien said, stick to the rules.
And if you want to watch us live recording this, see all the bits that don't make the edits, then you can do. Head over to Facebook or YouTube every Wednesday evening from 8 p.m. and we broadcast the recording live, and you get to see all the bits that didn't make the final show. Don't forget, get your top 5 suggestions in asyetUnnamedPodcast@gmail.com. Email them in. If we pick them and use them, we will send you a brand new limited edition As Yet Unnamed Podcast badge. Subject to availability when they get delivered. You have to pay postage. You don't, I'll post them. So thank you very much for listening. Until Monday morning, when we do 3 Men and a Microphone, look after yourself, stay safe, follow the advice. We don't like it, we've just got to do it. If we don't all do it, none of us will have a Christmas. So yeah, just follow the advice. Right, until the next time, thank you so much for listening. Bye for now.
Now, twice a week. Aren't you the lucky ones? You're watching, downloading, and listening to the As Yet Unnamed Podcast.
The TikTok.
That's a long old slog there to listen to 2 podcasts being recorded. But,
Wow, all right then.
Thank you.
It's not a long slog.
I hated it, to be honest.
Don't make it sound like a chore.
We're off air now. Can I just be me? You're a bunch of